Okay, so here what we are going to do, first we'll write two buttons. Okay, whenever we are clicking the button, we will show one div hello, and whenever we are clicking hide, we want to hide this div. Okay, if you want to hide any div, what is the content we have to do it normally? We have to write a display is equal to, let us write one div here, div hello world something. Okay, okay, now we want to write two buttons here ma. Okay, button, button is a show, and second button I want to write like a button hide. Okay, so two buttons we want to do it. So if you are going to reload this page, so show hide. So now what I want to do, whenever I'm clicking show, I want to show this one. Whenever I want to click, I want to hide it dynamically. Okay, not like we have to write from the program. So far now we did not do such programs, right? Okay, so let us try to do this one. Okay, so here whenever you want to hide any element, first we'll write one styles, our styles. Okay, so if you want to write any style, we'll go for head element and then style tag. Okay, inside the style tag we can go for something like this. Okay, either we can use a bootstrap or we can use our own class also, anything is fine. Let us try to use our own classes for now. So first thing, whenever for this div I want to have a some background color. Tell me how to do this one. Div, since I am going to write only one div, this is a tag selector. Okay, and I will say background color is equal to some, use any color, and height. Okay, height is equal to some 100 pixel, width is equal to 100 percentage. Okay, so let us solve this problem something like. Okay, now whenever we are clicking hide, we want to close this one. Okay, so first thing what we have to do, you have to handle the click event, correct, right? So whenever I'm clicking this hide, what we have to handle the click event. So we can handle the click event in two ways, either through the JavaScript way, yesterday we have shown, right, add listener, or we can write a click event, anything is fine. Okay, let's go with the normal way. So I want to write a on click. What is the event on click? Okay, I will say hide button btn something. So we have to declare this function in our JavaScript. So whenever you want to write our JavaScript, we have to use a script tag. Okay, okay, so I'm going to write like a function name and open bracket and close bracket. Okay, so let us go and do like this. So whenever I'm clicking here, first I will print like a console.log hide button is clicked. For now, let us see whether what is the output we are going to get here. Let's reload. So hide is clicked. So same thing I want to implement for the button also. So on click is equal to, I will say show btn. So this show btn is nothing but a, and I want to just write like a, we are click the show button, that's all. So let us see the demo here. Reload hide. So hide is clicked, show is clicked. Okay, now we will write the real action. So whenever we are clicking this one, I want to hide some content. Okay, either you can do multiple ways ma. You reduce your height to 2 pixel, 5 pixel, something like that, automatically it will collapse. Okay, or you remove it, display is equal to none, or you write a visibility is equal to hidden. We can use any technique. Let us use one technique. Okay, let us go for a class based. I will write one class like d-none. So what is the d-none refer for? Display none. So whenever we are writing a display none, what will happen? It will not occupy any place and automatically it will be removed. Okay, that's fine. So by default we are not adding any display. Let's go on relevant. So whenever I am going to add this class, okay, by default manually I will add it one time whether this is working or not. So d-none I am adding it. So whenever we are adding d-none, what is the output? Automatically div is removed. Okay, but same thing I want to do through the program, not to manually. Okay, that is the reason I'm going to remove this class. Okay, I'm not going to do anything here. So let us save it. So now first thing is, whenever I'm clicked that element, first I want to get this div element. Okay, what is the requirement? Whenever we are clicked, I want to get that div element. Whenever you want to get any element, let's go with the id based. Okay, id here you can give any id here. Okay, I will say ele1, element 1. Okay, that's fine. So where you want to get this function? Inside the hide. So go there. So there is a object called document dot get element by id. We have seen this get element by id in the last class. Okay, so let us write it. Okay, so what is our object name, element name? ELA-1. So that's fine. So let us store this one into one variable. So how to store it? Let ELE is equal to something like this. Okay, now if you are going to print this ELE, let us see what is this ELE, and we can based on that one we can write the code ELE. Okay, so debug is very helpful. Let us reload the page. Okay, so whenever I'm going to click here, so I'm clicking here, you see the right side hide is clicked, that is okay, whatever I have written. Apart from hide is clicked, what is the element? It is there a div id is equal to element. So entire tag you are getting right. So in the JavaScript you are able to get this entire value, entire this div you are able to get it. Okay, suppose once you are getting this div, this is an object. Okay, this is a object. So inside the object there is a property called class list. So what is the property name? Class list. So this is a properties available inside the element. So whenever this is a properties available, how to access that property element? ELE dot class list. Okay, so ELE is a object. Inside the object, if you want to access any property, how many ways we can access it? Two ways, either by using dot operator or using the something like this. Anyway approach, right? So let us go with the normal way. So ELE dot, what is the property name? Class list. Okay, so this class list is nothing but like an array. We have an array, right? So inside the array, how many elements we can add it? Multiple elements. And we have some methods also, right? Adding, what are the methods available for add? Push, unshift, something like this, right? Okay, here also it has some methods. That methods is nothing but add, remove, toggle. Okay, so whenever you are calling add, so what will happen is whatever the class we are giving it, it will dynamically add to that element. Okay, so now what is the class I want to add it? I want to add the div for none. Okay, whenever I'm clicking, I want to add this class dynamically. Okay, on clicking time. So now what will happen? Whenever we are adding display none, automatically this element will be removed. So let us see the output. Okay, it's automatically gone. So how we are, like in the earlier days I said, right, JavaScript is more powerful. You can add the element, you can remove the element, you can modify the element, you can do anything. Okay, everything is possible through the JavaScript code itself. Okay, so now we are hiding it, right? Now again I want to bring it back. So whenever I'm clicking it, I want to bring it back. Okay, so very simple. You remove that div for none, automatically this again the button will come back. Okay, so let us go on here and write the code. Okay, so go to the button. First I want to get that element. How to get that element? Let ELE is equal to document dot get element by id. What is your id? ELE only. So that is the reason we'll write like this. Okay, now what is the class you want to remove it? ELE dot class list dot remove. Which class you want to remove it? div for none. Whenever you are removing div for none, automatically it will bring a hide, show, hide, show. Okay, something like this. Simple, right? So whenever you want to hide it, you can hide it. Whenever you want to show it, something like this. Okay, but what my manager came, you are using two buttons. I don't want to use two buttons. I want to use only one button. So whenever I am clicking first time, I want to hide it. Second time, I want to show it. So that is nothing but accordion behavior only, right? Something like this, you want to do this one. So whenever, let us try for that also. So we can go for a on click. Okay, I will say toggle btn. Okay, now let's go and write this another function. So function toggle button. So here I am writing a something like, let us see here. So there is a method called toggle. What is the method name? Toggle. So what this toggle will do, if your class is already available, it will remove it. If your class is not already there, it will add it. So automatically it will do, right. If it is not there, if you are adding div for none, automatically it will be removed. If already it is there, then it will work vice versa. So in that case, let's go and reload the page. Okay, see, instead of adding two buttons, we can do like this. So this is nothing but this behavior. Okay, so how are you playing with your CSS classes? How are you playing with your CSS classes? Using what property? class list. This class list is available where inside the HTML element. Okay, so inside this class list, this is like an array, okay, and whenever you are adding, you can add more classes also. You can write a BG primary, BG light, anything you can add it. You can include the bootstrap and you can write all the classes also. This will work fine. Something like this you can use it. Okay, this is nothing but a hiding element. But sometimes what I want to do, I don't want to touch based on the classes. I want to change manually, like you know how to write inline styles, right? How to write internal styles. First let us write the internal style. I want to write a font size is equal to 50 pixel. Can anybody tell how to write a font size 50 pixel? Style is equal to font type 1 size, okay, 50 pixel, something like this. So whenever you are going to add something like this, see, very big one, but I don't want to show it by default. Whenever I'm clicking a button, a toggle button, at that time only I want to increase the font size. Okay, I want to increase the font size. Simple. You can write one class and you can add that class in the toggle function. That is one way. Okay, so this is already we have seen, right? If you want to see behavior, I will say big font something. Okay, font size is equal to 50 pixel. So simple. So now I'm going to add this class. How to add this class in the toggle? Very simple. ELE dot class list dot. Should I write a toggle or add? Add, because toggle will again whenever you are clicking it will remove it. I want this toggle behavior only for div. For element I want to show it like a normal one always. So let us go and reload the page. Second time it will come like a with a capital letter. So that is fine. So like this, you can add any number of classes in the bottom. If you want to write another color, you can write add something like this. You can add it. Okay, but I don't want to touch using the class list. I want to write like a inline styles. How will you write inline styles? Anybody guess? How are you writing? Here after the element, what we are writing? Style. After the style, what we are writing? We are writing a font size. Same approach I want to do it using the our element. Okay, so whenever you are getting this ele is nothing but the tag, right? Inside the tag we have a style attribute, right? Same thing I can access, like, okay, ele dot, okay, style dot font size is equal to 50 pixel. Instead of writing this code here and where I am writing my that code inside the function. So like this, let us see whether this will work or not. Okay, see, font size is equal to 50 pixels. Suppose I want to change the background color. Okay, so how can I change the background color using the JavaScript? ele dot style dot background, okay, color property. So whenever you in the CSS usually how will you write it? In the CSS we will write like a background hyphen color. Okay, but whenever you are writing through the JavaScript, you have to convert this hyphen minus is the right. You remove that minus like hyphen, and you this the next character whatever it is there, you change it to the uppercase. Okay, that is the syntax. Even in the React also we are going to use like this only. Whenever you are going to set your style, we are going to say background color is equal to red, not like a background hyphen color, something like this. Okay, so let us see what I'm going to just toggle off. Let us see for now something. Okay, so now you are able to increase the font size, you are able to change the background, correct, right? So suppose I want to change this text itself. I want to change the text itself. Okay, so there is a ele dot there is a text content. Okay, there is a hello world is there. I'll say text is changed. Okay, change something like this. So whenever we are going to reload the page again, see, text is changed. Suppose when we will use it, suppose you are showing an error messages. I want to show the error message dynamically. First time username is required. Second time user length is a less greater than 5. Only one element will be there, but based on the error validation, we are going to change the text. So we can simply write like a this element text content. Okay, if you want to do like this. Okay, everybody is clear, right? So this is nothing but a class list. Okay, so by default you can use a class list. Inside the class list, what are the methods? Add, remove, toggle. So add will add the class, not the style. Okay, and remove will remove the class. and toggle will if it is available it will remove it, if it is not available it will add it. Okay, and apart from this one, what is another element we can use it? Style. Okay, style is also available inside the element. You can write a style dot and all the properties, whatever the css properties you want to do, you can write all the css properties. Okay, so that is the most powerful. So this is nothing but a class list. Let us go for the form validations. Okay, so I want to write a simple form validation. So login form is there, right? Everybody, we have written a one simple login form. Let us try to see what is the login form and change it. So I'm going to write one simple login form. Okay, so how to write a login form? Simple, we can write a one div. Okay, inside the div write a form tag. Okay, inside the form tag I want to write username, password. Let us write one div. I will say username. Okay, and one input tag. Okay, and second, and another div username and a password, something like this. Okay, so next one button div, I'll say login and button, I'll say login, something. Let us reload the page. Okay, so we have a username, password and something like this. Okay, that is fine. And is there any font size? Okay, this is a problem. I will remove this one. Okay, you can ask your doubts in the last. Okay, so let us try to reload the page. So this is the normal div. Okay, so now first we want to do the validations here. So whenever we have written the form, right? First we have written a form. Let me remove these functions which are not required. Okay, so let us style the page. Class is equal, I will say login form, login hyphen form, and you can write the whatever the width you want to give it, you can give it. So let us style this element login form. You can say width is equal to 50 percentage. Okay, and background color is equal to light something, you can use any color. Okay, so let me use 70 percentage. Okay, so and I want to use some padding. Where is the padding will come? Inside the border or outside the border? Inside the border. If you want to give a margin, margin will going outside. Okay, I will say margin hyphen colon auto. If you are giving margin auto, what will happen? So, what will happen? It will go to the center of the screen. Okay, so that is fine. Now whenever we are clicking login, so what we have to do? We have to do the validation. So but if you are seeing here inside the action, what is the URL? I'm giving it empty. Okay, so what is the action means? Like whenever we are clicking it, where our data should be submitted, that is nothing but a action. Suppose I want to write like a x.page, x.html. So there is no such page. Okay, for simple sake only I am writing it. Let us reload the page. So whenever this page is going, that means our form is submitting. That is the reason I am writing there. Okay. Suppose what we want to do, we want to write the validation without entering username. I don't want to allow it. Okay. Without enter password, I don't want to allow it. If you want to do the validations, then what are the properties we have to use it? You remember, right? First we have to write like a required. Okay, required. So what is this required will do? It will ask a user, you have to enter manually, there is no check. See, now this time it is asking. So again I will type here. Okay, I'll type a and again. Okay, I'll type something like this. Now once we are entering correct data, it is going right. Okay, this is by default validations. Okay, I don't want to show the, like in interview what they will ask is they will give a form and please write the validations on yourself. Don't write use the default one. And suppose here it's required, I'm giving right, I'm giving only spaces. Okay, and if I'm going to click here, see, it is not telling any answer, you are not entering spaces, nothing it is telling, it is allowing it. Okay, for password also I'm giving all the spaces, it is submitting the page, right? Okay, we want to stop this type of behavior. This is called a form validations. Okay, so whenever we want to do validations, first we'll write one function. Okay, so there is a event called on submit. What is the event name? On submit. So you have to write the on submit and return, and we'll write handle submit, something like this. Okay, so let us write a handle submit. So please write this function handle submit. Okay, so let us go on the write like this. We'll go for one by one, step by step. Okay, so first I want to get the element. I want to get this element value. Okay, so let us so inside the function, now what we'll do, first as usual, we'll remove everything. We'll write one console dot log of form submitted. So this will tell that our form is working fine. Let me click login. Okay, I'll type some data and click login. Okay, so it is going for the another page, right? For now, what I will do, I'll stop this behavior, simply writing the return false. Okay, let us see what will happen. Return false. So even though I'm submitting, see the here form is submitted. Whatever I'm writing in the console, it is printing here. Okay. So now whenever our click event is working or not, our click is working. Now what we want to do, we want to show the alert first. Whenever if he is not typing anything, so I'm going to remove this required. We are going to write our own validations. Okay. If user is not entering any data and click submit, we want to show one alert. Hey user, your username is required. Something like this. Okay. Let's try to do this one. So I'm going to reload the page again. I click. So is there any error? No. Form is submitting. Okay. To solve this problem, first we have to get this input value. So what is the ID I'm using for here? Username. So get this element here. How to get an element? Any element? Let user ele is equal to document dot get element by ID. What is the ID I have given for username? Username only. Okay, so this is like a entire element. Your input tag will come, entire input tag will come, but I don't want to get your input tag, right? I want to get a input tag value. Okay, so that is the reason whenever you want to value something, let us get for password also. Now I want to get the value. Okay, from the input you can call like a value property. There is a property called value. So automatically whatever we are typing, that value we will get it as a in the value property. Suppose I want to get it for password also. Tell me what we have to write. Let password is equal to password dot value. If you want to change the style, what you can do? User element data style data something, some pixel you can do it. That is okay. Right click and format the document. Okay, so here first, what is the validation I want to do it? If username is empty, if username is empty, so I will write like this. Okay, so if I am going to write like this, here what is this meaning? What is this meaning? If user is there. Okay, so and when it will be true, suppose if I am giving a empty quote, that is a true or false? Empty quote is true or false in the JavaScript. If I am giving empty quote, this will become a true or false? False. If I am giving undefined, what is a false? Okay, something like null, zero, and these things will be false, right? Okay, so here if you are giving any empty string, that means this is a false, correct, right? So whenever I want to show the user, I will say not symbol. This not symbol is if there is no data and we are changing reverse condition. So automatically if there is empty, empty means a false, and if we are writing a not condition, false into true. So here we will say alert. Okay, alert username is required. Let us reload the page again. I'll log in. See, username is required. So that is okay. So now I want to write same thing for password also. Tell me how to, like before going password, let's suppose here I'm going to enter one space. Okay, again I'm going to click login. See, this time it is not showing, right? Now which method I should use it to remove all the spaces in the string? What is the method? Trim method. Okay, that is the reason you will come here and you are going to write your, okay, or we are going to write a double arma. This meaning is if this condition is false, okay, if this condition is false, then only the right side will come. Okay, or means either left side is true, right side is true, automatically enter evaluation is like a true only. Now here we'll say user dot, okay, trim method. Okay, and again we'll write like a one not symbol. So now what is this meaning? Even if user is not available, there is no data is enter, so this is a true. Whenever this is a true, we'll print a alert. Suppose he is entering a empty space, whenever he is giving empty space, what will happen? This will become a true. true and we are adding a not symbol, this will become a false. Whenever this first condition is false, then only it will go for a second condition. Inside the second condition, what we are writing? Trim. You remove all the spaces, first, last, anywhere, wherever it is there in the remove it. After removing, what will happen? It will become like this, right? After trim, whenever this is empty space, again, what is that? This equal condition, true or false? False. And if you are writing not symbol, what will happen? True. So internally, it is going to do like this. Okay, let's go. I'm not going to enter anything. Username is required. Here I'm going to enter only spaces. Login. See, username is required. It is showing the error or not? So this is the first condition. Same thing I want to do it for password also. Now tell me how to do it. If pass, okay, or password.trim. Okay, if you are not writing not condition, this meaning is it is available. Okay, let us write the not condition something. Now password is required. So there is a small mistake here. Let's see what will happen. What is the first? It is adding username is required. Again, what is the error? It's showing a password is required. Okay, so I will type, I will space only here and I will click login. It is saying a username is required and again password is required. Okay, so whenever this is error is there, I want to stop there. I don't want to write the execute the bottom of the program. So that is the reason I will say return false. Okay, whenever we are adding any return statement, what will happen? Your program function will be stopping from there. It will go back to the caller method, so that we will not throw the two warnings instead of, like, suppose if you have 10 fields, you are saying a username is required, password is required, age is required, all are alerts, means user has to click right, so you will get irritation. That is the reason first we will show one error, username is required, no error. Okay, so and I will type the, if you are giving empty spaces also, you are going to get an error only. Okay, something like, I will type the correct one. So now this time it will ask for only password. So now we are showing the password error, right? Something like this we can show. So same thing we here also we can go and write like a return false. Okay, whenever there is any wrong, we have to return a false. And suppose if this is a correct, this is correct, so when it will come here in this line, if all are correct only it will come to the last line, correct, right? Then my form is correct, right? Then I have to return in the last line I will return a true. Return true means okay, my form is, everything is okay, you submit my data to the backend server or whatever the page. Okay, so that is this meaning. Let's go and reload again. I'll type it, username is required, so I will type the username, password is required, let us type the password, let's click on the login. This time form is submitting, right? Okay, this is how internally it will work out. Okay, but this is the old way where we are showing the alerts, showing every time alert, clicking alert is a very old way. Okay, at least 2010 way I can say. Now what we want to do, whenever you are like clicking okay, I don't want to show alert, I want to show one div in the bottom in red color, username is required. Okay, something like this we want to do this one. Okay, very simple. So by default what we will do, we will remove this alert. Okay, we'll remove this alert. Now what we want to do, we want to show an error message, right? So where we want to show error message is bottom of the screen, something like this. I will say there is a small tag. You know what is a small tag? Only it will display in the small font. That's fine. Okay, I will say username is required. This is the username is required, something like this. Okay, that's fine. And here same thing for password is required. Let's go and write something like directly also, no problem. Okay, here password is required. By default I want to show this small tag in the red color. How can I show in the red color? You can say small, because I'm going to write, I'm writing only color is equal to red, display is equal to none by default. That's fine. So let's go. Let me just comment out this display so that you can see the output and later we'll see. So what it is saying, username is required, password is required. But whenever I'm coming first time also, if it is showing like this errors, user will get afraid. Okay, why? Before entering itself, he is asking username is required. This we should not show like this. That is the reason. Whenever by default we have to hide these errors. Okay, how can you hide your errors? Display is equal to none. So automatically all your errors will be none. Okay, okay. So now what I want to do, I want to write, these are the two errors are there, right? Let us provide id is equal to user error. Okay, and for this one let us give another id. Id is equal to password error, something pwd error. Okay, so how many errors we have? It 2 error. So and by default both are hidden now. Okay, whenever I'm clicking submit, now if I am not entering, I want to show error message in the bottom. So do you know, by default this display is equal to none. Whenever error is there, if you are making that element display is equal to block, automatically that will be displayed. Do you know how to get that element? First to get this element. Okay, how to get this error element? I will say let user error is equal to document dot get element by id. What is my id name? User error. So okay, and I want to get it for password error also, something like this. Okay, so by default what it is there, it is a we are not displaying something. Okay, so whenever error is there, now what I want to do here, I want to show that error. Okay, so user error dot style dot display is equal to block. Okay, we can access like this, right? Same thing I want to do it for password. Tell me what I can do. Password dot style dot display is equal to block something. Let's go and do it now. Okay, I will click here login. See, username is required. Okay, I'll type the username and again I'll click it. Okay, so whenever I'm clicking second time, this message should go right, but it is still displaying. Okay, this is because once you are showing it, automatically it will show like this only. Okay, so that is the reason we have to reset these values. So I'll go here and I'm going to write like this, these 2 lines. Okay, so here I'm going to copy this 2 line. By default I will say display is equal to none. Okay, display is equal to none. So whenever before the validation I am making a none, there is no error I'm thinking. But whenever there is error, I'm making like display is equal to block. Let's go and reload the page again. I'm going to enter login. Okay, I'll type the this night this time. Username is gone. Okay, and this time I'll enter here. If I'm going to click login, what will happen? It is going to go for the next page because every form everything is okay, right? Something like this we can show the user error messages based on the screen. You can show it here. Okay, sometimes what I want to do, they're asking like a if password is less than 5 characters, I want to throw the error. Password is less than 5 characters, I want to throw the error. Okay, so let us write it here. If again another if. Okay, if pass, what is my variable name? Pass. Okay, how to get the length, ma? How to get the length? Pass dot length, length. You know string methods, right? Less than 6 characters. So we are saying again error messages. Okay, this time I want to show the error messages, but I want to change the content. Do you know how to change the content? How to change the content? Something we can go for like a password error dot inner html, or we can say text content. Both we can use it. Okay, let's go for this time inner html. Let us reload the page. Okay, I'll click on login. Username is required. I'll type a, and here password I'll type baby. So now we'll see what is the error. Second error is coming. Earlier how many error we are showing? Only one error. Okay, suppose now the third requirement is user has to type at least one number and one string. This validation we have done yesterday, regex. If user is having at least one number and one string, then it is okay. Otherwise we are going to get a error, something like this. Okay, we have to get an error because your password is not matching with our criteria, something like this. We want to throw an error. Okay, so in that case again I'm going to write a another if condition. Okay, another if condition. Here you need to write your regex. Okay, so what is the regex for? You want to verify it. If suppose if there is no number, then I want to verify it. Something like, how can I verify it? I will say slash something. Then okay, what is the value for slash d? Slash d for digits. Okay, d dot test. So what is the method it's going to do it? I will say pass. So if inside the password, if number is there, it will return true. If number is not there, it will return a false. So let me store into one variable. Let is num, something like this. Okay, if there is no number, I want to throw an error. Okay, if there is no number, I want to throw a error. So what is the error I want to show it? Password must contain one number, something like. Okay, so here you are going to write that mixed. This is a simple case I am writing it, but yesterday if you have seen the program, there is a program which will look for the, let us write it. Username is required, login, password is required. I will type a, password must be 6 characters. I will type only all a to z. What is error it's showing? At least one number should be there. Okay, so like this they will be asking, you can write any number of validations one by one, one by one, one by one. Okay, so they will clearly tell that what are the requirement. Username should be 6 characters. If it is less than 6, you throw an error and you say error is something like this. So your error message also should be dynamic one, not like a regular one. Okay, so this is called validations. So everybody know how to write the validations, right? First you are going to use a normal, whatever the function you are going to write it, you are going to write this one. Okay, some people will try to forget this return statement. If you are missing this return statement on submit, what will happen is, so it will always try to submit the form. Okay, so let me click. You have written everything perfectly. You have written the return false, return true, and you are calling the method, everything perfect. You are writing the validations also. But if you are not using the return statement inside here, okay, so what will happen is, it will always your form will be submitted. That is the reason you have to use a return here. Okay, whenever this function is returning true, this data will submit. Whenever this function is returning false, this data will not submit. We are going to get an errors. Okay, yeah, the same validations, whatever the validations we are writing it, right? Handle submit, handle validate, same validations we are going to use it in the React also. Okay, there also we are going to do the validations, and it will be similar to like this, but we are not going to write these many lines. It will be very short. Okay, so this is the second one.